It's time to ditch your summer makeup looks and dive right into fall. I'm going to share with you how to get this really easy fall makeup look for your more mature skin using products and tips and techniques designed specifically for those of us with mature skin. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jody. I'm 55. Think of me as your midlife beauty bestie, where we are going to get ready together, talk about makeup products, makeup reviews, and really how do we apply makeup on skin that is just different than it was even a year ago? It's a never-ending game of how can I outsmart my skin? And I am here to walk you through every step of the way because, yeah, things are sagging, pores are enlarging, and all the other stuff. But we're gonna do it gracefully, so if you're ready to do this fun fall look, grab your eyeshadow palettes, the ones that you love, grab your blushes, and grab your lipsticks. Pour them all out on the floor. Well, don't pour them out, but put them all on the floor and look for colors that are very fall. And from there, we are going to put together a look that you can create with products that you already have. I'm going to walk you through every step, and I will link the products that I'm using down below in the description box in case you want to add to your makeup collection. So if you're ready, let's do this look together. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to do that because we're about to embark in a fall tutorial series. That's right, you don't want to miss that. I'm so excited to get this look together, you guys. Fall is my favorite time of the year, and I love that we're gonna spend it together. I've got the sweater on. It's a little overcast today, although it's supposed to be like 90, but we're just gonna pretend. So first thing I'm gonna do is moisturize my skin. I already have my sunscreen on. I'm using the CeraVe night cream. I just like to make sure that my skin is very, very hydrated before I put on any makeup look. And for those of us with more mature skin, this step, well, it's a must. It really is an important step. So if you don't have a moisturizer in your arsenal of skincare, it's an important step for not just skincare, but it's the base for your foundation or your overall makeup look. I wear this moisturizer from the summer all the way through the winter because it's hydrating enough to give my makeup a really nice dewy look, but it's not so heavy that it gives my foundation sort of a slippy base. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes moisturizers can just be too emollient for daytime wear. They're great for evening, but I don't like wearing a heavy emollient moisturizer underneath my foundation. I find that when I do that, my T-zone area, which is already oily, tends to look, yeah, shiny and a little slippery with the foundation. It really will settle around my nose and things. So if you're having that problem and you're feeling like your makeup is looking a little too shiny and slipping and settling into fine lines and wrinkles, take a look at your moisturizer. Is it too thick, too heavy, too emollient, or maybe you're applying your foundation too quickly after you're applying your moisturizer. So first I'm gonna go in with my foundation. I'm using the Complexion Crush by Ulta. If you don't have access to an Ulta, you guys, I've recently reviewed that new Maybelline Lumi Matte. It's a 30-hour wear foundation. I think it's actually in my vanity where I get ready because it is part of my daily staple now. I'm gonna do a Friday face-off between this one and that one, but if you don't have access to Ulta, then I would suggest picking that one up because it wears very much the same. I am in color medium neutral. I'm applying this with the BK Beauty 107 brush. And I love this brush for my makeup. And I'm just gonna go and dot it around the outer edge of my face because I have the most wrinkles underneath my eye area, right through my marionette lines. So wherever you have the most wrinkles in your face, also right across here, those smoker's lines, and I've never been a smoker, but I have those lines. So wherever you have the most wrinkles, that's where you want to apply the least amount of product. So I apply foundation on that outer perimeter of my face, and then I carry it into the center so that the least amount of product is going in where I have the most wrinkles. This foundation gives such good coverage. I like to put it on the inner corner of my nose where I definitely carry some discoloration. I'll touch that up a little bit with concealer as well, but you'll notice I'm putting that foundation everywhere just to start off with a flawless look to the skin. This foundation is one of my favorites because it's full coverage, but it doesn't feel heavy on my skin. It doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles, and it's that semi-matte. I just prefer a semi-matte. If you like more of a gloss or a natural or radiant finish, then you'll want to look for a foundation that has a finish like that. Next, I'm going to go with my concealer. I'm using the Pure Match by Jane Iredale. This is a liquid concealer. You guys, I was really happy with the way the online match process worked with this concealer. I don't do that very often, but I'm learning more and more about technology and how well the color match options work in some of these cosmetic companies. This one was a perfect match for me. I am in color 7W. It was very easy to go to the Jane Iredale website, put in kind of my colors, my shades, answer a few questions that they had asked, and voila, this came in the mail and it's just the perfect color for me. Not too warm, not too cool, and again, it's a 7W. Had I just looked at the colors and picked one myself, this is not the shade I would have picked, but their color match system worked really, really well. So I encourage you, if you're looking for a concealer and you're not sure what your shade is, maybe you don't have access to getting to a store where you can have somebody help shade match you. Not only did their shade match work well in the concealer, but it also worked well in the Skin Tuition foundation. Again, answered a couple questions and they color matched me perfect. You notice with that concealer, I'm just putting it in this outer corner and the inner corner. Let it set up or dry, if you will, for about a minute. And then I like to just take my fingers and move the concealer from the outer corner and inner corner into the center. Same concept as the foundation. You want the thinnest amount of product where you have the most wrinkles as well as the most movement. If you don't have wrinkles under your eyes and perhaps you have more crow's feet, then you'll put a little concealer here and maybe a little concealer up there and then blend that up if you find that you need concealer in this area. If it's a lighter shade concealer, you may want a little bit of concealer right through here. We are going to add a little concealer there after we do our eyeshadow just to clean things up a bit. But I feel like I need a little bit more concealer on this side because this is my saggy eye side. I have an interesting issue. Are your guys' eyes just changing the under eye area as you're older, getting older? This side is puffy. And if you see it, there's definitely a distinct line where I carry, I don't know, fluid, I guess. And it's like that all day long. Some days are worse than others. And then this eye is sunken in. So if I could just take half of this and somehow fit it over there, that would be fantastic. But, you know, it doesn't ever work that way. All right, next step. I'm going to grab the Morphe Solo Cream Eyeshadow. This is in color Chorus. This is the perfect taupey brown. We're gonna use it as a little bit of a contour. This is the Sephora 78 brush. You can use whatever brush you want. I just am using this because not only is it the perfect neutral shade. Now, many of you might have this shadow because we've talked quite a bit on this channel about how these new cream eyeshadows by Morphe work pretty good. The reason I like this one for a contour is because for fall and into winter, it's just the perfect neutral, let me just put it on my hand. It's just a really nice neutral, not too warm, not too cool contour. For contours, you want more of a brownish gray, which this is. If you're looking for more of a bronze, which I don't want for this fall look, then you want it to be a little more on the warm side. Again, this is in the shade Chorus. See how a little bit of contour masks my hairline going up so far as compared to this side? It's just the smallest little adjustment to the eye that you don't really notice, but you kind of notice. Does that make sense? Now, if you want to carve out some cheekbones, this would be a great time to do that. Now, if you want to carve some cheekbones, I don't because mine are already a little bit more pronounced than I would like. But if you want to carve some cheekbones, just take your finger, find your cheekbone, and then roll it to the bottom of the cheekbone, and then just lightly grab that contour stick and put it right like that. And then you'll just softly blend it out. If you're unsure how to do this first and then do your foundation. That's called underpainting. It's my favorite technique when it comes to applying makeup. And I will do a fall makeup look underpainting just so you can get the hang of it. But that's a really fun way. All you do is apply your contour, any bronzer, any blush first, and then you put your veil of foundation. It's just such a pretty look. Anyway, I'm also going to take what's on this brush and do a little bit of a jawline to sculpt out that jawline right where my jawbone is behind my ear, or I guess that's in front of my ear, and across the bottom. See how defined that makes the jawline as compared to this side where it's still somewhat defined, but it doesn't look quite as sharp And it's really noticeable in the front when both sides are done. So now that we added a little on that other side, I said I wasn't gonna carve out my cheekbones, but now that I did the other side. You guys, Chorus by Morphe, I'm telling you, this is the best contour color. And because it's cream, it works really nicely with our more mature skin. And you can use this on your eyes. We might today, as I said earlier, we'll see how it goes. I have a couple other eyeshadows that I'm really excited to share with you. But this is, if you're looking for a contour and you're not really sure where to start, Chorus, Morphe, not sponsored. None of these products have been sponsored. I just love that it's just the perfect brownish gray shade for contour. Are you with me so far? If you're doing this with me, put a thumbs up down in the comments section. Now we're gonna go with some blush. This is Tower 28's Long Beach Iced Tea Powder Blush. Many of you have asked about a clean makeup tutorial. Many of these brands are clean. Tower 28 is clean. Jane Iredale is clean. Love a clean beauty product, especially as we're learning more and more about what's in our cosmetics. I'm going to use the Nikki LaRose N17, one of my favorite brushes of all time. I'm going to use the black side, go in with this blush. This is a really pretty blush for fall because it's just that muted kind of a mocha, not really there, but it gives you some warmth. I need to blend out this contour. See, if you guys were here with me, you'd be like, Jody, your contour needs a little more blending. You're absolutely right. So I'm glad I checked that out. So don't do like me and not blend it. You really want to blend that well, but when you do, it's perfection. Tower 28's been one of those brands that I slept on for a while just because it felt like a lot of hype, but I'm getting the hype. I'm understanding it. Isn't that a pretty blush? Just a little bit of a fall color. Again, this is Long Beach Iced Tea, but just a little tiny bit there that says my cheeks are ready for the pumpkin patch or ready for Thanksgiving with the family. Oh gosh, no, not yet. We're not ready for that, right? We need fall to last. What's your favorite season, you guys? Let me know in the comments. Mine is definitely fall, so this is why you'll notice I do makeup tutorials all year long, but I do 4 or 5 specific seasonal looks in the fall. I just love the makeup shades in the fall. Next, I need to do something with these brows. I'm using the Pure Brow by Jane Iredale in Neutral Blonde. I'll link all these products down below in the description box in case you are looking for a couple shades or tones to add to your fall makeup look. But you guys, the point is just before you get ready, like I said in the beginning, just pull out all of your blushes, your eyeshadows, and your lipsticks and see what looks good together. And I really enjoy doing that, like on a Sunday to get excited about the week. I just pull out all my shades and just kind of match them as if you're gonna put a bathroom together or a bedroom together or an outfit together. Just look for shades that are similar in tone, that complement one another, and most importantly, shades that you really like. And if they have that little bit of fall look, they look great together. So oftentimes we don't take time to put our makeup together and coordinate it, but I really encourage you to do that. I think that's just a fun way to pull the look that you're looking for without feeling like you need to know new makeup techniques. A lot of it is in, I was gonna say in your drawers, but that's not what I mean. A lot of it's in the shades that you have between your eyes, your lips, and your cheeks. What order do you guys do your makeup in? Do you start with your face and then your eyes and then finish with your lips like I do? Let me know down below. I've tried to do my eyes first. I'm just grabbing a little bit more concealer to go on my eyelids to neutralize them out. I tried starting with my eyes first because most professional makeup artists start with your eyes for the right reasons, because you get the fallout and then it's all over your concealer. But I just don't like the way my eyes look when I don't have my foundation on. So I have to do my base first, my complexion, and then I'll do the eyes and then I'll finish with the lips. It's just a habit. I did try to switch that, but I just couldn't do it. So let me know in the comments which order you guys do it in. And are your lips last? My lips are always last. I don't know why, but that's just, yeah, I don't know why that is. Again, I'm just adding a little bit of concealer to neutralize the eyelids so that we get the true color payout of the shadows that we're gonna use. So let's talk about the shadows. I am going to use the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes. I have Mauve and Taupe, and we're gonna start with Mauve. And you guys, these blend so easily. I'm just gonna bring you in to show you. I'm just gonna go right out like that. And they don't dry down too fast, so you can work like this. You know me, I like to work, whenever I have anything going on my eyes, I like to do both sides so that I can see if I have the right angle on both. If not, it just always looks uneven the rest of the day, and that drives me crazy. Next, I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush. This is the Angie Hot and Flashy A503. I'm gonna hold the brush back at the very end because I want a light hand, and I'm just gonna diffuse that up past my crease. Not all the way to the eyebrow, but past the crease. You can lean your head back a little bit to see where your socket is or your crease and go above that. And I'm gonna go all the way to that inner corner, but avoiding my lid. So not right here, but right above it. And these do dry, as I said earlier, these don't dry down super fast, but they do start to dry down. So if you find that you need to do a little more work on one side, then don't do both eyes at the same time with the product placement. Do one at a time. I just find that I need to use a template of the angle before I can start to blend. Go back and get a little more if you need. I find that if you use those master mats in one section and then blend it, it looks better on my more wrinkly eyes than if you put it more on the whole area and then try to blend it out. I find I get too much product. So just a little bit on the outer corner and then blend that product in. Very same concept as your foundation and your concealer. Put it where you have the least amount of wrinkles and then blur and blend it to the high movement, more wrinkly areas so that you're getting coverage there, you're getting product in those areas, but it's the least amount of product. That is one of the biggest things I've learned about more mature makeup is really applying your makeup in a way that you get the color that you want, but you're not putting a lot of product in those wrinkled areas, because we all know we've been in the car where we look really good and then we get out of the car and catch a glimpse and go, what in the heck? This mauve is the prettiest. You know what? I wish there was a lipstick in this color. So Mario, if you're listening, if we could just do a lip color in mauve, would absolutely love that. In fact, I think I will go on a hunt for a lipstick color this shade, because isn't that just, it just is the prettiest, cool, fall look. Maybe that's why I love this so much. I like cool toned makeup and these are perfect. Just to help you with your color story, here is the Chorus by Morphe. This was our contour. This is mauve. And then this is taupe. And then I'll show you the lip when we get to the lip. See how the color story is kind of pulling together to say fall? That's really what you want to do. Do a little bit of prep work before you just sit down at your makeup area and start putting stuff together. Take a little bit of time, pull out those fall colors. I'm going to roll up my sleeve or else I'm going to have this all over here in a minute. But it's important, so in the name of beauty. Next, I'm going to take some of that Makeup by Mario. I'm going to put it on a small pencil brush. Then you want to look at your eye and say, okay, so here's halfway. Here's the halfway mark of my eye. I want to cut that in half and go to that last 25% or the last quarter of my eye line and go with that pencil brush, slightly pull, not too much, and take that pencil brush and go right at your lash line about a quarter of the way in. So that you have something that looks like that. And then just kind of flick it out. Even if you have a droopy eyelid right here, still flick this out a little bit because that elongates your eye. And as we lose collagen in this area, elongating your eye through here makes this part of your face seem wider again because we've lost this volume right through here. So I'm just gonna pull that out. And just by doing that, you see how that looks a little bit darker in that outer corner, which is exactly what we want. And then you'll take what's left on your brush and go right at your lash line, outer corner to where your lashes stop on your inner corner. Really soft, blown out look. So right about now you should have something that looks kind of like this. Don't worry, it should look like a hot mess, but we're gonna fix it. All right, now I'm going to take the Airplay by Morphe. This is the very light color. It's more like a bone color. I absolutely love it. Take a small brush and get a little tiny bit, dap it on the back of your hand because we just want the smallest amount. And I'm gonna go right in on that inner corner of my lid and not bring it out any more than like a quarter. And then just softly blur that line. Take what's left and just go in this high point or the center point of the eyebrow and carve that out. You'll notice I didn't bring that all the way here or all the way there. I don't want to highlight the whole brow bone because again, as we've aged and we lose collagen, that brow bone does become more prominent. So I don't want to highlight it even farther and make it look like Frankenstein has entered the room. You just want to highlight that little center point. Same thing on this side, really light. And what this is doing, you guys, is just giving dimension to your eye socket because our eyes are round. And if everything is one shade, then it looks unnatural. I mean, who am I kidding? This all looks unnatural, but it looks better than not having any shadowing on your eyelids. A little bit right through here, carve out that brow. Again, this is Airplay by Morphe. I want to add a little more definition to the eye. I'm going to grab Teddy by MAC. Just grab whatever brown eyeliner you have. But see how the color story is all still very much undertoned the same? I don't want this to be so much on my waterline. I want to push that color up to the root of my lashes and just wiggle it back and forth. From the outer corner to where my lashes stop. Now you could carry this all the way to your inner corner. I don't like to do that. I used to do that a lot in high school and even in my 20s and 30s. But as I've gotten older, I feel like it just makes my eyes look a little smaller. See the difference in the definition of my upper eyelid just from adding a little bit of depth right at the root of your lashes. From here, you could take your liner and farther define your lower lash line. I'm not gonna do that because for me, what makes this look so current or trendy, if you will, is a little heavier makeup on your upper eyelids and leaving this lower lash line a little more soft and neutral. Now, before I add my mascara, I'm gonna go back in with that concealer and I just wanna go right through there to give myself a clean line. And you can use your finger or a brush if you want, but see how that just cleans up everything nicely? And then just add a little mascara, whatever mascara you have. I'm going with black. This is from Thrive Cosmetics. If you've got Firework, if you've got L'Oreal, the original, whatever mascara is your loved mascara, add it to this look for a fluttery, fun, dare I say, sexy eye look. So we've got this much done. It's time to go to the lips. If you find that your lips are thin and you want to draw on a little fuller lip for this look or for everyday look, no judgment here, I do it a lot. Then just grab your foundation brush and go right over your lip line so that you are almost neutralizing it out so that you don't see it. That way when you draw your lip a little larger, there's not competing colors between your natural lip line and your lip pencil. So this just allows you to dull everything out and then draw whatever size lips you want. I'm using Jane Iredale in Spice. Now, as I've gotten older, I don't line these outer corners. So take your pinky to your outer corner of your mouth and stop your liner there. The more we line this area, it's darker, so it's gonna look smaller, appear smaller. It also tends to have a little bit of a curve down. So I leave this part very neutral. Let me just add Spice. You guys can kind of see how we're sticking with fall colors here. This is a really pretty, I could just, if I wanted to, I could just stop with this and give me more of a matte look to the lips, but I'm going to add Lifter Gloss by Maybelline. This is in the shade Toffee, just because I like a little bit of a glow to my lips. Now from here, if you find that you need a little bit of setting powder underneath your eyes to help your concealer stay in place, then by all means add some here before you apply your setting spray. I'm using the Power Grip by e.l.f. This is an oil and a water, so you just definitely want to make sure you shake it. I also like, where's my other one? Charlotte Tilbury has the airbrush. I love this one, but e.l.f. works just fine and it is about a third of the price. All right, you guys, so there's our final look. I really hope you did this with me. And if it's not a convenient time when you're watching this video, I hope you do it at the next time you get ready for whatever event, whether it's an everyday, whatever your day looks like, or just a special day at home, or maybe it's a special event. It's a really easy, fun look for fall. You can mix and match the shades. Look for your fall colors in your, again, your eyeshadow, your blush, and your lipstick. Pull it all together and then start to use this eye technique, and I think you'll really like it. I've absolutely loved this look. It is my, dare I say, this is gonna be my daily go-to, but I do have a couple other tutorials for you coming up. But if you can't wait for those, check out this video. It's one of my fall looks from last year. That does it for me today, you guys. I'll see you in just a couple days. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.